Okay, continuing our discussion on performance charts, every aircraft that you fly, whether it be a helicopter or a gyroplane or an airplane, all have performance charts that you need to be aware of. And so let's contrast gyroplanes and helicopters for a bit again. So this is the performance chart for a Magni gyroplane. All right. The Magni gyroplane is a two-place gyroplane. It has a 914 Rotax engine. It develops 100 horsepower continuous, and you can actually go past the detente to full boost, full 40 inches of boost, and it'll produce 115 horsepower. So now, this is the empty weight of a Magni gyro is 595 pounds. Let's just round that up to 600 to make the math easy. Max gross weight is 1,212 pounds, right? So a Magni gyro, the empty weight's basically 600 pounds. I can put two fat Americans in there, two 200-pound Americans. That gets me up to 1,000 pounds. It holds 19 gallons of gas. I can put 19 gallons of gas at 6 pounds a gallon. It's 114 pounds. I'm up to 1,114 pounds. I still have another 98 pounds to go. So I can stuff two fat Americans full of fuel and 98 pounds of stuff under the seats. And we're going to go for a little trip, so I'm going to put 98 pounds of luggage under the seats and stuffed all around there. And the thing was just then be at max gross weight. Down here in good old thick air, when we go to take off, it's only 342 foot elevation. The aircraft, even at max all of the stuff, two fat Americans, full of fuel, it's still going to climb out at about 950 foot a minute. All right. So let's compare the performance of the gyroplanes, a piston gyroplane, to piston helicopters. And let's go out to Leadville, Colorado. We're going to take a little trip out to Leadville, Colorado. At Leadville, Colorado, the elevation is 9,932 feet. It is the highest airport in the United States. So let's look at, and again, the gyroplane, this chart was on a standard day. And as you guys remember, a standard day is 15 degrees Celsius, 29.92 inches of mercury at sea level. All right. So let's look at a Robinson R22's performance at Leadville, Colorado. We're going to compare it at max gross weights and on a standard day. So if you look at the R22, the performance chart, there's a little segmented line right here for a standard day, right? So the little segmented line there. If we start off at Leadville, Colorado here at 9,932 feet, and we slide over to where it intercepts with a standard day, bring that down, the aircraft will hover only at about 1,340 pounds. It's not going to hover at max gross weight on a standard day at Leadville, Colorado, the R22, and this is the 180 horsepower Beta 2. This is the more powerful of the R22s. All right, how about the R44? Let's take a look at it. And we're going to use the R44 Raven 2 that has the more powerful fuel-injected engine in it. All right. So if you look at the performance chart again on the Raven 2, again you'll see this segmented line right here that represents a standard day. So again, we're comparing apples to apples. And at 10,000 feet, or at 9,932 feet, which is about here, if we slide from here over to a standard day and then come down, you'll see that the aircraft will only hover on a standard day at Leadville, Colorado at a weight of about 2,420 pounds. We're at max gross at 2,500 pounds. So the R44 Raven 2 at max gross weight on a standard day at Leadville, Colorado will not hover. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at the gyro performance. All right. Here's our gyro again at max gross weight, 212 pounds here. We're going to slide across. We're up here at Leadville, Colorado, 9,932 feet, and we slide across here. And not only can we get the aircraft into the air, but when we take off, we're going to be climbing at a rate of about 220 foot per minute. That's pretty respectable performance. And even this doesn't tell you everything. This is at 100 horsepower, and the thing will turbo normalize 100 horsepower all the way up to 12,000 feet. So we could go past the detente and get another 15% boost in power and climb even greater than 220 foot per minute. So the little gyros, despite the fact that they're just a little two-seat aircraft, are very, very impressive in their high altitude performance. In fact, the Magni now, they have brought out an M16, same model as this, but with a bigger engine. It has a 915, which produces 141 horsepower. And those things are very impressive. So I had a M16 with a 915 on it. I was relatively light on fuel here at Cape Girardeau, and I wanted to see how fast the thing would climb. I took off and from Cape Girardeau, and it took me a little less than 4.5 minutes to get to 10,000 feet. And that's from 342-foot elevation here. The thing just climbed like a banshee. They're very, very impressive. So again, every aircraft that you fly, whether it's a gyroplane, a helicopter, or an airplane, has a performance chart, and you need to be aware of them and be well versed on what the performance characteristics are of the aircraft that you're flying.